Hey YouTube, I'm just pulling out of Walmart, and been there now a couple times in a row. I showed you one video with the empty shelves, and you know, there was some question marks, some good feedback. Some people said that they had the same thing at their Walmarts that are in different states, and other people suggested perhaps it was because school's getting back in town and are back in session, and the college kids, you know, stocking up. So I go today, and it's a different day of the week, because that was another one of the suggestions, was that, well, you know, I had gone on a Sunday, so maybe everybody was off work for Sunday, the stalkers or whatever. So I was kept bumping into this one person, and he kind of looked like me. He had this dazed look on his face. He had a kid in the cart, and he's standing there, macaroni and cheese. He was going to get some, and like me, he found that the options were low. So anyway, I said something to him. I said, is it just me, or do the shelves seem to be particularly empty? And he's like, yeah. And I said, well, I wasn't sure if it was just me or not. I've been in here several times, and excuse the wind noise, by the way. I said, I've been in here a few times in a row, and I said, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm just paranoid or what. And he said, no. He said, I've been coming here ever since the store opened. He said, I've never seen it the way it's been the last few weeks. I was like, all right. So I pulled out the camera, went back through some aisles, even at some aisles that I otherwise wasn't going to get into, because I was just really going to pick up a few things. And, you know, last time there wasn't a single battery on that one battery rack. For those of you who watch my videos, you'll know what I'm talking about. And the batteries were fully stocked. But vanilla wafers, completely gone. Like maybe 2 boxes of vanilla wafers. Just little weird things like that. The water, you know, the bottom shelf completely emptied out, and the middle shelf halfway emptied out. So I started going through, and to me it actually appeared worse than what I saw. I guess that was probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It was a week and a half ago. So I got up to the register, and it was a Mennonite, an older Mennonite lady that was running the register. And I was like, can I ask you something? And she said, yeah. I said, do the shelves seem normally empty to you? And she said, well, we had a really busy weekend, Labor Day weekend. She said it was unbelievable. I said, really? She said, yeah. And then she kind of kept looking at me a little bit. She said, what's wrong? Do you have that doomsday feeling? And I said, well, I don't want to sound crazy, but yeah. And she lowered her voice, and she slowed down, and she started talking. And she said the supply orders are coming in fewer and farther between. When the truck comes in, it doesn't have as much on it as it used to have. The full order's not there. They're having problems with certain manufacturers being able to provide their items. It's not a matter of help being available in the store. There's plenty of stalkers. It's a Walmart, for heaven's sakes. It's open 24 hours a day. So anyway, she said I've been telling everybody in my family to go to the government website that has a list of items you should have to be prepared for emergencies. And I was like, well, I said, you know, I've always kind of been a bit of a prepper. I said, I know the list you're talking about. It's a good starting point. I said, it's not that I feel unprepared. I said, it's that I feel like I've been preparing, and it's almost, being a prepper has almost been, I don't want to say a hobby, but a lifestyle, but one that, you know, you prepare for, one day, this may happen, you know. Just as many people pointed out, getting flood insurance on your house, it's not that you're expecting a flood tomorrow, it's a what if. But when that flood does show up and your house is underwater, it doesn't mean that it doesn't shock you, or that, you know, you're just like, wow. And I said, you know, I'm kind of feeling that I've been preparing. I feel like there's a lot more I could have, should have, would have done to finish preparing. But, you know, in a box of elbow macaroni, Great Value brand, is $1.98 and half of it's gone. Or when the end of the aisle green bean display has got packaged 4 cans packaged together of green beans on sale for $4 and they're half gone, starts really making you wonder. You know, and I said, I'm not panicking. I said, but I'm observing the fact that I think it's coming down the line. I mean, I'm looking at, you know, $3 cans of Spam. And anyway, so I just wanted to make the point to my watchers that my Walmart experience a week and a half ago was not related to college coming into session. It was not related to it being a Sunday and the stalkers all being off. It was not related to a impending storm that was coming in where they were expecting tornadoes or anything. It was nothing about anything like that. And it was worse in there today. This video, and I just wanted to say, you know what? Maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe I'm not crazy. Maybe the shit really is fixing to hit the fan, or is hitting the fan. G for T, George for Title, if you watch his channel, he was saying in a video he did this morning, you know, it's not that the economy is going to collapse. It's already happening, and it's not going to be an overnight boom. It's a slow, progressive buildup, and we're in it right now, and you are either on the good side of the fence or the shit side of the fence. And any last minute preps that you feel are not in your inventory stock, I'm suggesting right now that, you know, you skip pizza night on Friday, you skip the movie Saturday night, and you take that money that you would have spent going to the bar, or, you know, going to do something like that, and you put it into some preps, because really, the prices are going up in the store. I'm seeing it in Walmart, and as we all know, Walmart's our big box discount store, so looking forward to your feedback as usual, but this time you're not going to convince me that it's a fluke. I'm convinced now. I got it from the horse's mouth. I got it from a cashier that she's a Mennonite lady. They're not the ones that are apt to take off and say a line of horse crap, if you know what I mean. They're good people, and I have a lot of respect for them. So, getting it from her, I'm pulling into another little Mennonite lady's farm stand here, and I'm going to pick up some more produce because I can take $20 into this lady and get all kinds of great food and can it myself. Take care, guys.